Hi, welcome back to the Sing Confidently Live Creatively podcast. Estelle here. Today we're talking about how creative dreams don't just happen, but there is a path to really walking out your creative goals, walking out your creative dreams, and at least starting to walk towards that dream that you have as a singer, artist, performer, dancer, actor, whatever your goal is in the performing arts space, in the creative space. How do we actually move towards that goal? It doesn't just happen. It's like goal setting, it's taking steps of action. And I just want to really encourage you, like, and take a few minutes to empower and speak directly to you, listener, my fellow singer, actor, creative listening right now. I want you to know that you can work towards this creative dream that you're having, this desire that you have to get back on stage, to perform on stages, to go to auditions, to connect with other artists. Like, you can do this, but it can't just be dreaming. We have to take action towards that dream. We have to take movement towards that dream. And so if you feel like you've been stuck, you've been like just thinking about this thing that you want to do and you haven't taken action towards it because you don't feel confident in yourself, you don't feel like you can do it, you're doubting yourself, you're questioning yourself, we have to take a second to, of course, starting with number one, take a moment to surrender, to acknowledge those feelings instead of moving, just pushing them to the side, pushing to the side the desire that you have to be a performer, pushing to the side the desire that you have to be creative in your career, in your life. Don't push it to the side, but instead acknowledge it and take a moment to surrender it. Take a moment to journal, to pray through it, to move through those fears, that shame, that doubt that you have around your desire to be creative. And then after you've done that mental work, that spiritual work, that emotional work, then we start to take steps that are going to help us actually move forward and not stay stuck in that fear or that shame or that doubt. And I'm going to just share a few steps that I've taken and that I want you to take, like examples of those steps, and that I want you to take, and the things that you have to face when you actually confront those steps. So, like, it's going to go like, this is the step, this is the thing that you're going to face. So the first step is that you got to make the big goal, right? Make the creative goal and write it down. Like, make it very plain. Make it very plain. Okay. Write that goal down, write that dream down. For me, it was writing down and it was deciding, making the decision that I wanted to be a performing artist and be someone who helps other performers. So through voice coaching, I wanted to be able to be full time singing and coaching others in voice. And that's what I do now. And it's still a process. I'm still working on my performing and working on becoming a better performer, working on getting gigs. Like, it's still a process, right? It's not going to be finished. I'm not a superstar, right? I'm here with you every week, sharing with you my journey. And it's not final, but I am fully voice teaching. I am fully music directing and encouraging other singers and they're in this path, and it's so fulfilling to have this creative life. And it started with me writing down that I wanted to have a creative life, writing down this creative goal that I had, which was to, first of all, that I wanted to get into my master's program for music, right? And then from there I went on to the other steps, but it starts with making the big goal and writing it down. So don't just, I know you've been dreaming, you've been thinking, but you've been pushing aside those dreams, pushing aside that thought, like, oh, I can't actually be a dancer. Oh, I can't actually be a singer. Like, bring it to the forefront, surrender it, and then start taking these steps, starting with writing it down and deciding that you are going to become a dancer this year, or you are going to audition this year, or whatever that goal is. And the thing that you're going to have to face in this step of making your big goal and writing down your big goal is you're going to have to face fear. I had to face the fear of, like, oh my gosh, I have this big goal of, for instance, going to getting into a master's program for music so that I could be, feel really confident in my voice teaching skills and my educator skills while also growing as an artist. And I had to face the fear that, like, I, I feel like people are going to think that I'm crazy for leaving medical school. I feel like people are going to look down on me. I'm scared that what if I don't even get into this master's program? What if I don't get into any programs, which I didn't the first time I applied? I had to apply again before I got into Columbia, right? Fears. I had to face the fears. You will have to face fears when you make that big goal, because what if it doesn't happen, right? That's what you're going to have to face. The next step is that after you've written that big goal down, you have to break it down to little steps, to smaller steps. And this is where you're facing overwhelm. Okay, so first you had to face the fear, right, around your dream in order to write down the big goal. And now you're going to have to face overwhelm because you look at that big goal and it's scary. And in order to face that overwhelm, you have to take the step of breaking it down to small steps, writing down in a journal under your big goal. Write this down in your journal or an Excel sheet or wherever you prefer. Under your big goal, what are small steps that you can take? So if your big goal is, I want to be a dancer, what are small steps you can take? I can try to look up dance classes. I can go to a dance class. I can buy a leotard. I can buy dance shoes as needed. I can go to the dance class. I can ask the dance teacher for advice, right? I can start looking up gigs around for dancers in my area. I can start auditioning, right? These are small steps that you can start taking. For me, applying to music school, right? My master's in music, it took me saying, okay, I'm going to find voice coaches in different styles of music so that I can prepare for auditions for these different schools. I need to make a list of all the different requirements from all the schools. I need to put together my reels, my self-tape, whatever the reels are, or prepare for the auditions in person, etc. So breaking it down into small steps helps you face overwhelm. The next step is to ask for support and accountability. And this is you facing shame, right? Shame around the fact that you are now going to have to open your mouth and tell people that you want to be a dancer, you want to be an actor, you want to be a singer, you need help. And that shame can weigh on you if you don't really fight against it and say, no, I'm going to ask for help. I need support. I'm going to ask for a coach. I'm going to ask for a teacher. I'm going to ask this dance teacher after class to give me some tips on how to do this, pirouette better, right? Or I'm going to ask Estelle to coach me on singing, right? Go to creativelybyestelle.com/studio. What are you waiting for? Come on, let's work together, right? So ask for support. And that's going to help you push past the shame that you might feel around this creative dream. And then the last step is that you're going to write down your why so that you don't give up in the middle. And this is where you're going to face that lack of motivation, because lack of motivation is going to come on a Monday morning when you don't want to do it. Lack of motivation is going to come that week that it's cold outside and you really don't want to go to dance class, right? You don't want to leave your house. That lack of motivation is going to come. So if you've written down your why, that is going to get you through so that you don't give up. You've written down that I want to be a dancer because I love moving my body to music and telling a meaningful story. Or for me, I want to get into music school and get my master's in music education so I can feel really confident being an artist who serves other artists, who helps others as well, right? So write down your why and know it like the back of your hand so that no matter what, when that fear comes, when that lack of motivation comes, you are willing to face that lack of motivation and move forward towards that creative dream. You can do this. Take those steps because these creative dreams do not just happen, but they happen because you're walking towards them out of courage. And as you walk in courage, you build the confidence over time. But you got to take those small, courageous steps. Those steps, once again, make the big goal and write it down. Make sure you've written that down. Write down the step, you guys. Make the big goal and write it down. This is you facing fear. The second step, break down the big goal into smaller steps. This is how you face overwhelm. The third step, ask for support and accountability. This is how you face shame around the fact that you want to do this in the first place. And then number 4, the fourth step, write down your why so that you don't give up in the middle. This is how you face a lack of motivation. So don't give up. Keep going towards that creative dream. I'm right here cheering you on. You guys already know every week I'm here cheering you on, and I'm so excited because we have some incredible guests coming up on the show who are also cheering you on, who have really, really great insight to share, practical tips to share about building confidence as singers, as performers, as artists. And I want you to make sure that you're subscribed, that you are listening to the show, and that you're sharing it with your friends so that we can have a movement around the world of people fulfilling and walking in their creative dreams and not living day to day lacking creativity. No, thank you. We are living creative lives over here. And I want to make sure that everyone knows. So make sure that you are subscribed, that you're ready for the upcoming interviews coming out, and please share it with your friends so that they can listen too. And you guys know, if you need a coach for your voice, if you need to work on a song, if you need help with anything regarding singing, you can go to my studio page at creativelybyestelle.com/studio and check out all the ways to work with me there. Have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you later. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode and to this show. I'm so in awe of you for being here and showing up for your creative gifts. That takes courage. Don't forget to join the performing arts community on Facebook for support and inspiration as you continue on your journey. If this episode helped or inspired you in any way, please leave a review on Apple Podcasts and share it with someone. It means so much. Thank you again, and don't forget to keep singing, acting, dancing, performing, and living creatively. Talk to you next time.